Chapter 428, Volunteer 2. The belittling expression in the Qinglin sect elders' eyes was increasingly obvious as they looked at the Xianling sect elders. He was certain that Xianling sect did not have anyone to send up anymore. Now that Zhu Chang'e sustained serious injuries, they probably would not even have the chance to contend for the second position with Wind Moon sect. Why? Is there no one else from Xianling sect or Wind Moon sect? Then this year, the champion of the three-sect competition would belong to our Qinglin sect, the Qinglin sect elder said smugly with sarcasm behind his words. The elders of both Wind Moon sect and Xianling sect had rather ugly expressions. A young boy with delicate features standing beside a Wind Moon sect elder frowned tightly. He instinctively tugged on the Wind Moon sect elder's sleeves and said, "Master, I am willing to go up for a match." That young boy who requested a challenge was Shun Qingyu, who was known as a child prodigy. The Wind Moon sect elder looked at Shun Qingyu's determined expression. He hesitated for a long while, but still shook his head ultimately. "You are still young and don't have enough experience. This Fu Lingxian's attacks are very fierce and violent. Before any training, you must not battle with him." Shun Qingyu's talent was definitely above that of Fu Lingxian's, but he was too young, and he had only cultivated for a short time, which was still not enough to have a match with the merciless Fu Lingtian. Moreover, the Wind Moon sect elder just witnessed Zhu Chang'e from Xianling sect being severely injured, and it was apparent how ruthless Fu Lingtian was. If Shun Qingyu really went up, he would probably suffer a vicious blow. Elder Qin's disciple is indeed amazing. Wind Moon sect admits defeat. The Wind Moon sect elder took a deep breath and declared, even if they lost the first-place position, Feng Yuran still had the opportunity to fight for the second position, and there was no need to send Shun Qingyu up to risk right now. After that announcement from his master, there was no chance for Shun Qingyu to enter the ring even if he wanted to, and he could only clench his fists in reluctance. Conceit filled the Qinglin sect elders' eyes after Wind Moon sect made their stance known. Subsequently, the Qinglin sect elder looked at Xianling sect, who was still struggling in difficulty. Xianling sect had been defeated for many years, and if they lost again this year, they most likely would not have any face to participate in the three-sect competition in the following years. "Elder Mo, is there anyone else from Xianling sect that is going up?" asked the Qinglin sect elder arrogantly. He was sure that Xianling sect did not have any more disciples who could have a match with Fu Lingtian. Elder Mo's expression darkened. No matter how good his temper was, he was inflamed from the Qinglin sect elders' cynical remarks. The Xianling sect disciples were extremely displeased, but none of them dared to accept the challenge when Qinglin sect asked. They could not even win against Zhu Chang'e, much less Fu Lingtian. As Elder Mo was about to finally admit defeat after remaining silent for a long while, a figure suddenly walked out from the crowd. She stood in front of Elder Mo and bowed. "I am willing to enter the ring for a match with Fu Lingtian." The moment the voice sounded, everyone's eyes looked in the direction of the voice. Elder Mo looked in astonishment at the person in front of him who volunteered. Yi Qingtang. Never would Elder Mo expect that the person who stood out at this instant would actually be Yi Qingtang. Surprise flashed across Elder Lin's eyes when he saw Yi Qingtang. When Yi Qingtang's name appeared in the list of names for the reserved disciples initially, he was skeptical but did not say anything. Yet, Yi Qingtang wanted to enter the ring right now? This was truly beyond Elder Lin's expectations. Chapter 429. Volunteer 3. Elder Mo frowned immediately, and his gaze shifted away from Yi Qingtang without giving any reply. Yi Qingtang was only a reserved disciple. How was she able to battle with Fu Lingtian? Everyone was still waiting for someone to say something, but the Qinglin sect elders were beaming as they looked at Fu Lingtian in satisfaction. Apart from the usage rights of Drifting Cloud Island, the three sects still had other wagers in the three-sect competition every year. In this competition, most of the wagers of the sects were similar to those in previous years. Other than spirit pills and elixirs, each sect even added a Dharma treasure as wagers. With Fu Lingtian claiming the champion position, Qinglin sect would become the biggest winner once again. Qinglin sect really trained an amazing disciple. The Wind Moon sect elder looked at the Qinglin sect elders and said with a laugh. All of the elders witnessed Fu Lingxian's abilities. He had an extremely strong comprehension of martial skills, and almost no one in the same level as him could be his opponent. While Wind Moon sect's wagers were not little, their loss would not be too large with at least a second place. You flatter us. Shin Qingyu from your Wind Moon sect is extraordinarily gifted. He is merely young now and does not have enough experience. In a few years' time, he will definitely be able to yield brilliant results and claim the champion position. The Qinglin sect elder laughed. At that moment, the expressions of everyone from Xianling sect were extremely ugly. The conversation between Wind Moon sect and Qinglin sect seemed to have completely ignored the presence of Xianling sect. If Wind Moon sect could place first years later, didn't that mean that they Xianling sect would always be at the bottom? If that was the case, what was the point of competing? In these few years, Xianling sect did not have any fate with the usage rights of Drifting Cloud Island. Xianling sect's wagers were similar to the other two sects every year, and the losses that they sustained over the years were already extremely horrifying. Yet Xianling sect could not refuse to participate. The three-sect competition traced back to hundreds of years ago and had already become a tradition. If they were unwilling to participate, it would mean that they were afraid of the other two sects, and should this be circulated, their reputation would drop drastically. Elder Qin, who had already sent the Blood Moon sect elder for the array formation competition, arrived at the moment and happened to see the situation. His brows were slightly furrowed as he sighed. If they had to blame, they could only blame the fact that Xianling sect did not have any better disciples. Being last in the three-sect competition every year, they could not blame Qinglin sect disciples for being too powerful. Zhu Change's fists clenched as he looked at the expressions of the elders. Although he wanted to fight for the sect's glory, Fu Lingxian's skills were too frightening, and especially after sparring with him, he realized he had no chance of winning. Elder Mo shook his head. The three-sect competition had already ended, and he naturally did not think much of Yi Qingtang's request. Xianling sect was to be the last again this year, and this was a definite fact. I declare this year's competition over. The first place goes to Qinglin sect, the second place goes to Wind Moon sect, and the third place goes to Xianling sect. A Qinglin sect elder walked up and announced rather proudly. Hold on. Right when the three-sect competition was about to come to an end, a voice was heard. Elders from the three sects frowned slightly at the voice, and they looked at Yi Qingtang, displeased. Xianling sect disciple, do you have any objections? The elder who announced the results was impatient. Elder, the competition hasn't ended. I haven't entered the ring for a match, Yi Qingtang said slowly with a calm expression. The moment Yi Qingtang finished her sentence, everyone from Qinglin sect and Wind Moon sect was stunned. Chapter 430, Grande Move 1. Wasn't this girl a reserve disciple from Xianling sect? Normally, reserve disciples were only to fill the numbers and rarely took part in the actual competition. You wish to have a match? The Qinglin sect elder was slightly taken aback. He had never heard of a reserve disciple requesting to enter the ring, although they did have the right to participate as well. Yes, Yi Qingtang nodded. Then, that Qinglin sect elder looked at the few Xianling sect elders. While reserve disciples did have the right to take part, the permission of the sect's elders was still required. What is Yi Qingtang doing? As a substitute disciple, she still wants to go up and fight with Fu Lingtian? Is she talking big to impress people? Some Xianling sect disciples who came along in this trip sneered. Step back, Yi Qingtang. There were no emotions on Elder Mo's face while his voice was cold and detached. When Yi Qingtang requested to participate the first time, he had already rejected her request with his silence. Yet unexpectedly, she actually mentioned it again. The three-sect competition had already ended, and there was no need to continue on. As a reserve disciple, I wish to enter the ring and learn from senior brother Fu. Yi Qingtang smiled. There's no need to, Elder Mo replied indifferently. Xianling sect placed last once again this year, and their morale was already at rock bottom. Why would they still allow Yi Qingtang to play around? Master, since we cannot win the competition, if I can learn something from sparring with senior brother Fu, it will be useful as well. Seeing that Elder Mo was disapproving of her request, Yi Qingtang changed her argument immediately. With that said, realization suddenly dawned on the disciples from all three sections. Fu Lingxian's attainments in martial skills were extremely high, and they would definitely be able to learn a thing or two by sparring with him. I've never thought that this reserved disciple from Xianling's sect would not be willing to let go of any chance to improve. A few Wind Moon sect elders commented as they laughed. Elder Mo, since Yi Qingtang has the mind to learn, just let her go then. If she really learns something, this trip would not be wasted. Elder Qin persuaded after seeing Yi Qingtang's stubbornness. After hearing it, Elder Mo was silent for a moment and finally relented. Since that is so, go ahead then. Take note of the way and angle that Fu Lingtian attacks with. It would be great if you can improve from this. Thank you, Master. After gaining Elder Mo's approval, Yi Qingtang immediately entered the competition court. Senior brother Fu, junior sister Yi Qingtang is honored to learn from you. Yi Qingtang smiled at Fu Lingtian and cupped her fists together. Fu Lingtian took a glimpse at Yi Qingtang. He obviously heard what Yi Qingtang said previously. Junior sister Yi, since you wish to learn something from me, I will grant you 5 moves. All the disciples from the 3 sects were surprised to hear this. Fu Lingtian was actually granting Yi Qingtang 5 moves? What was the concept of 5 moves? When formidable people sparred, their lives and deaths could be determined in seconds, and even half a move was enough for a decisive outcome, much less 5 moves. Senior brother Fu is so generous. 5 moves? If he granted Fengyiran 5 moves, the first place for this competition would definitely be Wind Moon sects. That is definite. However, the opponent is only a substitute disciple from Xianling's sect. Granting 5 moves is not anything, and it displays the generosity of senior brother Fu instead. That Xianling sect disciple's luck is indeed good. She has a chance of 5 moves and can learn even more from senior brother Fu Lingtian. However, a smile passed by Yi Qingtang's eyes as she looked at Fu Lingtian. She shook her head and said, Senior brother Fu, you are the defending champion of the 3-sect competition, while I'm only a disciple at the bottom of the Xianling sect team. Granting me 5 moves is too petty already. Chapter 431. Grant a move 2. 5 moves is still petty? Isn't this Xianling sect disciple too? If 5 moves still aren't enough, then should he grant her 10 moves? The Qinglin sect disciple sneered. Fine by me. Since junior sister Yi puts it this way, he'll grant you 10 moves, Fu Lingtian said with a smile. Grant 10 moves? Senior brother Fu, this is a little unsuitable. What if he has a slip-up? The Qinglin sect disciples could not help but worry as, after all, 10 moves were too much. Senior brother Fu, 10 moves is still too little. Yi Qingtang shook her head once again. Then, Fu Lingtian frowned slightly and said, So what is your opinion, junior sister Yi? How do 20 moves sound? Yi Qingtang flashed a faint smile. 20 moves? Fu Lingtian was stunned. After Yi Qingtang spoke, there was an uproar below the ring. What a joke! How shameless is this Xianling sect disciple? Grant 20 moves? How about giving you all the first place instead? One cannot be too greedy. Senior brother Fu already granted 10 moves, but she was not content. Even the Xianling sect disciples were embarrassed beyond words because of what Yi Qingtang said. Facing the unfriendly stares of the other 2 sects disciples, they wished they could find a hole in the ground to hide in. Who would have thought that Yi Qingtang was this shameless and could even say such a thing as to granting 20 moves? Elder Mo, this is a little overboard. A Qinglin sect elder looked at Elder Mo in dissatisfaction. Awkwardness spread on Elder Qin's face. If he knew Yi Qingtang would be like this, he would not have agreed to let her enter the ring just now. On the other hand, Elder Mo frowned tightly and did not say anything. Yi Qingtang is only joking with Fu Lingtian. There's no need to take it seriously. Elder Qin laughed. Joking? Everyone stared at each other. Judging from the expression of Xianling's sex Yi Qingtang, she did not seem to be joking. Since it is a joke, then I will grant junior sister Yi 10 moves as I said earlier. Fu Lingxian's expression turned a little better. It was not a joke, Yi Qingtang said simply. At that moment, all the disciples stared at Yi Qingtang once again, and the disciples from Qinglin sect and Wen Moon sect glared in disdain and disgust. We're already in last place. Huh? Yi Qingtang still did not think that was enough. Now, Xinling's sect's reputation is all thrown away because of her. Why was Yi Qingtang allowed to come to the venue of the 3-sect competition? The Xinling sect disciples felt terribly ashamed. Elder Qin had already provided an opportunity for her to extricate her from an awkward position by saying that she was joking. But who could expect Yi Qingtang was this shameless? Junior sister Yi, you're rather greedy. You want me to grant you 20 moves. How about I remain at a spot for you to attack me, and I don't strike back? Fu Lingtian scoffed. So you mean that it's not possible? Yi Qingtang asked. What do you think? Fu Lingtian looked at Yi Qingtang. At that, Yi Qingtang shook her head and let out a sigh. As the defending champion, you are, however, unwilling to grant me 20 moves. Since junior sister Yi says it so simply, how about you grant me 20 moves? Fu Lingtian snickered coldly. Grant you 20 moves? Yi Qingtang pondered and subsequently nodded. Since you said it, I will grant you 20 moves. What did you say? Fu Lingtian was startled and even thought he heard wrong. As you wish. Under everyone's gaze, Yi Qingtang placed her hands behind her and looked at Fu Lingtian with an indifferent expression. I'll grant you 20 moves? The Qinglin sect and Wen Moon sect elders had extremely bizarre expressions as they exchanged looks. Chapter 432. Grant a Move 3. The girl from Xianling sect. The Wen Moon sect elder smiled in dismay and shook his head. People from the Xianling sect, are you trying to make a joke by sending your reserve to fight against Fu Lingtian? The Qinglin sect elder laughed as he stared at Elder Mo. Elder Lin, and Elder Mo. remained silent. Elder Mo's face was getting increasingly unpleasant. Elder Qin sighed as he saw Elder Mo's face. Yi Qingtang was Elder Mo's in-name disciple. Yi Qingtang could enter the 3-sect competition because of Elder Mo's approval. However, now she was making a mess in the competition and was mocked by the other 2 sections. It was an embarrassment for Xianling's sect, especially for Elder Mo. I have to say that Xianling's sect's disciples are brave. One of the Qinglin sect's disciple laughed as he looked at people of Xianling's sect. The Xianling sect disciples held their fists tightly and wanted to leave immediately. Yi Qingtang, she really is a disgrace to our Xianling sect. She also dares to ask Fu Lingtian to grant her 20 moves? Is she trying to gain popularity with that? It's the first time that I ever feel so humiliated. At the same time, Fu Lingtian said, Okay, they'll grant you with 20 moves since you are from the Xianling sect. But I think 20 moves are too much. Will 3 be enough? We shall see. Yi Qingtang smiled. Coldness swiped through Fu Lingxian's eyes. He was like a ghost and suddenly approached Yi Qingtang. Swoosh! Fu Lingtian smashed his palm. The strong martial breath rushed out of his palm and surrounded the place. All the 3 sects' disciples were astonished by the power of his smash. It was not a rumor that Fu Lingtian had no enemies in the same level. The force was like waves that increased gradually. The force of the smash arrived before the actual palm. Yi Qingtang's clothes and hair were swinging, but she did not have any movement under Fu Lingxian's attack. However, Yi Qingtang suddenly moved. Yi Qingtang dodged to the left slightly. Boom! An exploding sound spread out. Senior brother Fu, this is the first move? Yi Qingtang stared coldly at Fu Lingtian, who was frowning. How is that possible? She dodged the attack. Is that a coincidence? All the disciples could not believe that Yi Qingtang dodged Fu Lingxian's first attack. She dodged at the most appropriate time to the most appropriate angle. Such martial experience? It should be a coincidence, Elder Qin said. How much martial experience could Yi Qingtang have at her age? You are very lucky. Fu Lingtian did not stop his attack. He held his fist and smashed towards the left side of Yi Qingtang. Swoosh! Yi Qingtang's feet shifted slightly all of a sudden. Her toes pushed on the ground gently, and she floated backward using the slight force. Boom! Fu Lingtian's fist missed again after the exploding sound. Second move, Yi Qingtang said indifferently. You are committing suicide. Fu Lingtian was enraged. His legs swept out like a dragon. Yi Qingtang placed her hands at the back, and her body floated again. The shadows overlapped each other. One could not even differentiate the real figure from the shadows. Chapter 433. It's My Turn 1. One of the shadows was split apart by Fu Lingtian, but the Yi Qingtang reappeared in the next second. Her sight landed on Fu Lingtian, and she said, Senior Brother Fu, 17 more moves left. However, I thought that you said you would defeat me within 3 moves? Fu Lingtian narrowed his eyes. The young lady from Xianling sect had strange moves and extraordinary speed. Oh, Elder Qin was shocked. If the first move was a coincidence, then the second and the third one, they could not be coincidences as well. Elder Mo frowned and finally raised his eyes to look at Yi Qingtang. As long as she did not fail miserably, Elder Mo would be satisfied. The two figures on the martial art hall shifted again. Fu Lingtian was like a demonic beast. Every move was fierce and strong, and if normal disciples were hit by the force, they would shed 1 layer of skin at least. However, Yi Qingtang's movement technique was abnormal. She avoided Fu Lingtian's attack at the most appropriate time. 5, 6, 10, 11, 19. Every time Yi Qingtang avoided Fu Lingtian's move, she would remind him. All the disciples were astonished. There is a disciple with such excellent movement techniques in the Xianling sect. Does Yi Qingtang study movement techniques? She is so fast. Who can touch her? No wonder she dared to challenge Senior Brother Fu and asked him to grant her 20 moves. Even though Senior Brother Fu is strong, it is useless if he can't touch Yi Qingtang. As a martial art cultivator, what can you do when you only know how to escape? Of course it's helpful. In the future, if you encounter any danger, at least you can run away. Xianling sect disciples only know how to run? Xianling sect disciples remained silent, though the other sects mocked them. What was wrong with escaping? As a cultivator, what could you do if you could not even reach your opponent? At least Yi Qingtang could last so long on the stage and would not fail miserably. That would be enough for the Xianling sect. Good. Elder Qin looked at Yi Qingtang with admiration. He nodded and said, Hold on for a little while more. At least we will not fail so miserably, and we will be the sect that fought with Fu Lingtian for the longest time. Good movement techniques indeed. It was rare that Elder Mo also commended. After 19 moves, Fu Lingtian looked at Yi Qingtang and smiled coldly. Junior Sister Yi, do you only know how to run away only? As a sect disciple, I think there's nothing to be proud of when you only know how to escape. Senior Brother Fu is right. The ability of Xianling sect disciples is the worst among the 3 sects, but your escaping ability is definitely the first. Haha, you'll see how she's going to run when she runs out of inner chi later. Qinglin sect disciples laughed. Don't say that. I think most of the Xianling sect disciples are brave men. Disciples who only know how to escape are the minority. It's normal for a girl to study escaping techniques. Anyway, the difference in the quality of the Xianling sect disciples is huge. Haha, some of the Wind Moon sect disciples mocked. Many Xianling sect disciples' faces were red. They felt embarrassed when they met with the sarcastic sights from the other 2 sects' disciples. Fu Lingtian tilted his mouth and said, Junior Sister Yi, how about taking one of my moves instead of running? It won't be so unpleasant if you lose. Chapter 434. It's My Turn 2. The moment Fu Lingtian finished his words, he raised his fist towards the sky. His breath and energy reached their peaks at that instant. The power of the fist was so strong that the whole ring was shaking. It seemed to be the end of the world. The entire audience kept quiet under the ring. The drama would end soon. No matter how strong Yi Qingtang was, she would not be able to avoid a full-force attack. Elder Qin was concerned. Yi Qingtang might not be able to remain safe and sound under Fu Lingxian's fist. However, Yi Qingtang suddenly moved. She did not back off this time. Instead, she raised her arm towards the incoming attack. Boom! The sound exploded, and the invisible air waves spread out from them. This is impossible. Fu Lingtian was totally shocked as he saw Yi Qingtang, who was standing close to him, silence. It was deadly silent. Everyone froze at the moment. A streak of light sparkled through Elder Mo's eyes. He stood up from his seat and stared at his unnamed disciple on the ring. Under everyone's gaze, Yi Qingtang casually blocked the attack with her palm. She held Fu Lingxian's full-force attack easily. Fu Lingxian's fist was held by Yi Qingtang. Just now, Fu Lingtian asked her to take her move, and now, Yi Qingtang did what he asked. She did not dodge. 20. Yi Qingtang remained still, but her voice was cold. The whole place was quiet as everyone was stunned as they stared at Yi Qingtang. The Qinglin sect elders were shocked, and they could not believe what they just saw. Before the 20th move, everyone thought that Yi Qingtang studied movement techniques to avoid direct contact with Fu Lingtian. However, she took the 20th move with her palm and blocked Fu Lingtian. Astonished, Elder Qin was dazed for a moment. Next to him, excitement could be seen in Elder Mo's eyes, and he instantly stood up. The young lady from the Xianling sect, the Wind Moon sect elders, frowned heavily. Yi Qingtang stood straight on the ring. She placed one of her hands at the back, and the other holding Fu Lingxian's fist. This is the 20th move, Yi Qingtang said expressionlessly. This is not possible. Cold sweat appeared on Fu Lingxian's forehead. His right fist was held tightly by Yi Qingtang. Her hand was like a mountain from the ninth heaven. No matter how she struggled, he could not withdraw his hand. Fu Lingtian, I did what I promised just now. I did not fight back and granted you 20 moves. However, you did not grab the chances. The 20 moves are so weak. Such a disappointment. Yi Qingtang sighed softly. The audiences broke into discussions upon hearing her words. Yi Qingtang mocked Fu Lingtian by saying he was too weak for her. What? What did you say? Fu Lingxian's face clouded. The young lady in front of him was just at the third heaven of martial qi level 1. How dare she to talk to him like that? Yi Qingtang kept her smile away. Her eyes were cold. Now it's my turn. The hand that was holding Fu Lingxian's fist suddenly tightened as she finished her words. She directed her inner qi within her body instantly. The force rushed out of her body like a beast out of control. A screech and the broken sound of bones were heard at the same time. At that moment, everyone who was present was stunned. Chapter 435. It's my turn 3. The Qinglin sect elders' faces clouded. The progress of the competition now was way beyond their expectations. The Wind Moon sect elder could not believe that a reserved disciple of Xianling sect could possess such ability. She must be the hidden force of Xianling sect. Another Wind Moon sect elder appeared to be contemplating. Elder Qin stared at Yi Qingtang with his mouth trembling slightly, but he did not say anything. Elder Mo was completely shocked. He had never known that his unnamed disciple's martial skills had reached such a level. The competition between Yi Qingtang and Fu Lingtian had not ended yet. Yi Qingtang's movement techniques were unique, and she was very fierce with her attacks. Fu Lingtian could not even defend himself. Fu Lingtian gritted his teeth, and cold sweat appeared on his head. His right hand was fractured by Yi Qingtang. Unless he revealed his true ability, he would not be able to fight anymore. However, Yi Qingtang's every move was fatal. Clearly, she did not want to let him go easily. Fu Lingtian did not dare to use his full strength and decided to give up. However, before he could finish his words, he was stopped by Yi Qingtang's attack. She wants to kill me? Fu Lingtian was shocked. He was busy defending himself against Yi Qingtang's killing moves. There was no chance for him to give up. The woman in front of him did not even give him any time to give up. Qinglin's sect obviously noticed Fu Lingxian's situation. Such a vicious lady. How dare you to intend to kill the talent of my sect? One of the Qinglin's sect elders shouted, and a strong martial breath spread all over the place. The elder was about to jump over to the ring the next second. Humph! Elder Mo's eyes were cold as he saw that Qinglin's sect elder was about to interfere. He grunted loudly and slapped the table heavily. A shadow split out of his body. Boom! A loud sound was heard when the table broke. Elder Mo Yu, the Qinglin's sect elder, frowned. Elder Qian, the competition has not ended yet. How dare you to have the intention to kill my disciple? Elder Mo's martial breath was so intense that he appeared to be so majestic in front of everyone. He stared fiercely at Elder Qian. When did I want to kill your disciple? I just wanted to end the competition. Apparently, your disciple wants to murder Fu Lingtian. Elder Qin of the Qinglin sect sneered. Such a joke. Elder Mo was expressionless, but his tone was very mighty. If Qingtang really does kill Fu Lingtian, I will definitely punish her heavily. However, before the competition ends, I will kill anyone who dares to interfere. You! Elder Qian of the Qinglin sect stared at Elder Mo in rage. He knew that he was not a qualified opponent of Elder Mo. If he interfered forcefully, it would be detrimental to both sections. Well. Elder Qian repeated himself 3 times. If Fu Lingtian is really killed by your sect disciple, they'll see what you're going to say. Elder Qian then returned to the area for Qinglin's sect. Humph! Elder Mo grunted again and returned. Disciples of the Xianling sect were surprised. Elder Mo defended Yi Qingtang and was even willing to provoke Qinglin's sect elder. However, Elder Mo did not seem to take his in-name disciple to heart previously. But now, boom! A hitting sound stopped everyone's thoughts. Fu Lingtian was kicked by Yi Qingtang at his abdomen area, and his body flew 10 meters away. He was close to falling off the ring. Chapter 436. You are cheating one, come back. Yi Qingtang sprung up and held Fu Lingxian's collar. She dragged him back to the ring directly. Blood flew out of Fu Lingxian's mouth. Yi Qingtang really intended to kill him on the ring. Yi Qingtang's lips curled into an evil smile. She murmured beside Fu Lingxian's ear, I want you dead. Fu Lingtian was astonished. He could never imagine that Yi Qingtang would be so cruel to kill him. He did not know the reason why Yi Qingtang wanted to do so, and he did not have enough time to figure out as Yi Qingtang's move was about to land on him the next second. Fu Lingtian was almost engulfed by the strong feeling of danger. If he continued to suppress his ability at the 3rd heaven of Martial Qi Level 1, he would not be able to fight with the disciple in front of him, unless he revealed his true power without holding back. However, if he used his full strength, the Yunxiao sect might punish him heavily. If he chose not to, he might die here soon. The moment Yi Qingtang's move was about to lock him down, Fu Lingxian's eyes sparkled, and there was no trace of fear left. His martial qi aura immediately reached the 2nd heaven of the martial qi level 2. You are seeking your own death. Fu Lingxian's face darkened as he shouted. As he finished his words, his martial qi aura changed into unlimited primordial qi, and the power caused Yi Qingtang to be thrown out. Boom! Yi Qingtang struggled for about 10 steps back until she stabilized herself. I'm going to kill you. Fu Lingtian was enraged. As a Yunxiao sect disciple who reached the 2nd heaven of the martial qi level 2, his hand was fractured by a Xianling sect disciple, and he nearly lost his life. Fu Lingtian smashed his palm down at Yi Qingtang. His martial qi was so intense that nothing could compare with it. Master, save me! Yi Qingtang shouted for help at Elder Mo. However, before Yi Qingtang shouted, Elder Mo was prepared to take action against Fu Lingtian when he revealed his martial qi level 2 power. How dare you! Elder Mo shouted fiercely. His voice sounded like the thunder and seemed to be able to cause the entire world to tremble. Before the audience could realize what was going on, Elder Mo flew onto the ring and protected Yi Qingtang. At the same time, Elder Mo waved his palm. Boom. Boom, boom. When the palm of Elder Mo reached Fu Lingshan's palm, it seemed like two meteors hit each other. As Fu Lingshan's right hand was fractured by Yi Qingtang, his strength was not enough to counter Elder Mo's attack. He backed off for a few steps. Master, he is at the second heaven of martial qi level 2. He wanted to kill me. Yi Qingtang's face was full of fear. Elder Mo's face was extremely unpleasant. Don't be afraid, Qingtang. I will defend you now. Elder Mo's cold eyes then scanned through the elders of the Qinglin sect. The elders of the Qinglin sect were totally shocked. The aura that Fu Lingtian just revealed was definitely at the level of the second heaven of martial qi level 2. What's going on? Fu Lingtian is at the second heaven of martial qi level 2. How can it be? The rules of the 3-sect competition say that only disciples at martial qi level 1 can participate. Martial qi level 1? One of the disciples sneered. It was clear that he reached the second heaven of martial qi level 2 just now. If Elder Mo did not help, Junior Sister Yi would die because of Fu Lingtian. Is it possible that the Qinglin sect asked Fu Lingtian to suppress his second heaven of martial qi level 2 cultivation to the third heaven of martial qi level 1? Chapter 437. You are cheating too. That's the reason why every time Qinglin sect was the first in the 3-sect competition. Who could beat Fu Lingtian when he has reached martial qi level 2? Qinglin sect is so shameless. Oh my god! Is Yi Qingtang a monster? She broke Fu Lingshan's hand and even forced him to reveal his true power. Besides criticizing Qinglin sect, more people were amazed at Yi Qingtang's terrifying fighting ability. Spirit root? So what if your spirit root is not superior? Yi Qingtang's spirit root is not good, but even Fu Lingtian with martial qi level 2 ability almost died in her hands. Spirit root does not represent one's fighting ability. That's right. I think even some of the core disciples in the inner sect of Xianling sect also cannot compare with Junior Sister Yi. Spirit root does not represent everything. As long as you are strong enough, the quality of the spirit root does not matter anymore. Some of the Xianling sect disciples' eyes were full of excitement as they possessed ordinary spirit roots. Yi Qingtang gave them the hope to be stronger. Qinglin sect, how are you going to explain? Elder Mo stood in front of Yi Qingtang and looked at the Qinglin sect elders. How could the Qinglin sect elders know what was going on? In their impressions, Fu Lingtian was always at the third heaven of martial qi level 1. Maybe your disciple is too strong. Then she forced out Fu Lingshan's talent and caused him to break through. One of the Qinglin sect elders tried to explain. Elder Mo glanced at that elder coldly. You were saying that Fu Lingshan's martial qi level 1 cultivation suddenly broke through to the second heaven of martial qi level 2? This is not entirely impossible. The Qinglin sect elder nodded. Not entirely impossible? Elder Qin went forward and sneered. In my whole life, I have never heard of any talented person who can break through 2 levels in a second. Hee. The Wind Moon sect elder stood up and smiled at the elders who were quarreling. We should not sacrifice our harmony for that. Anyway, the competition was meant to enhance our relationship. Elder Yi Qingtang smiled. Qinglin sect won quite a lot of stakes by cheating these years. If they need to return all the stakes, Yi Qingtang did not elaborate further, as she knew that the Wind Moon sect elder could understand her words. The Wind Moon sect elders' faces immediately changed. They realized that the stakes they lost were not negligible upon Yi Qingtang's reminder. Apparently, the Wind Moon sect elders' faces also clouded. Humph! So shameless of you, Qinglin sect. How dare you to ask your martial qi level 2 disciple to suppress his ability at martial qi level 1? That's right. Qinglin sect won the top prize for a few years based on cheating. Now you must return all the stakes. Besides returning, there must be compensation. The Wind Moon sect elders' attitudes suddenly changed as they condemned the Qinglin sect elders. As I said, Fu Lingtian broke through. The Qinglin sect elders did not wish to compromise. Such a joke. As Elder Qin said, I have never seen anyone who can break through 2 levels instantly. So you do not admit the despicable things you have done? Another elder of the Wind Moon sect gazed at the Qinglin sect in rage. The Wind Moon sect intended to be the peacemaker, but their attitudes changed after Yi Qingtang's unintentional reminder. Chapter 438 Compensation 1 On the ring, Fu Lingxian's brows were tightly furrowed. In a moment of desperation, just now, he could only reveal his true abilities. If Wind Moon sect mediated the situation as they did originally, nothing much would happen, but that damn woman foiled it. Qingtang, how's your condition? Elder Emma looked at his unnamed disciple. Master stepped in time, and Fu Lingtian did not manage to harm me. Yi Qingtang smiled. After hearing that, Elder Mo's doting eyes were filled with relief. He indeed misjudged Yi Qingtang and Xianling's sect, merely treating her as a disciple who had a gift in forging. Yet unexpectedly, his unnamed disciple was actually also a genius. All right, I will definitely seek justice for you today, Elder Mo said with a nod. At that instant, the Wind Moon sect elders were infuriated and demanded Qinglin sect to give them additional compensation on top of repaying the wagers for the previous 3 sect competitions. Apart from Wind Moon sect, Elder Mo and Elder Qin from Xianling sect similarly requested for compensation. Other than the wagers that my sect has lost in the previous years in compensation, you, Qinglin sect, must give additional compensation to my disciple, Yi Qingtang, Elder Mo said. Qinglin sect could only suffer in silence. They were indeed unaware that Fu Lingtian was at martial qi level 2, and they wanted the answer as to what happened more so than Xianling sect or Wind Moon sect. The Qinglin sect elders had ugly expressions and did not know how to reply to the strong voices of Xianling sect and Wind Moon sect. Fu Lingxian's martial skills had always been at the 2nd stage of the 3rd heaven in martial qi level 1, and they were utterly clueless as to why it would suddenly become the 2nd heaven of martial qi level 2. Nonetheless, it was impossible for them to interrogate Fu Lingtian for details right then. Qinglin sect, I think you all should give us an explanation today. Elder Qin scoffed. Please calm down. We are discussing right now. The Qinglin sect elder frowned. Okay, we will wait for you to discuss, a Wind Moon sect elder said. Then, the Xianling sect disciples split their sides from laughing. I remember that those Qinglin sect disciples seemed to say that our sect only knows escaping techniques a while back. That's right. However, how can our sect's escaping techniques compare to Qinglin sect's cheating techniques? Using Fu Lingtian, who is at the 2nd heaven of martial qi level 2, to pretend to be at the 3rd heaven of martial qi level 1. Yet he ended up having his hand broken by junior sister Yi. I'm afraid that Qinglin sect will not be able to learn the escaping techniques of our sect's junior sister, Yi, even if they wanted to. The Xianling sect disciples were extremely disgruntled towards Qinglin sect's ridicule previously, but were freely mocking them now. On the other hand, the Qinglin sect disciples lowered their heads, ashamed, not knowing what to say. Their arrogance and disdain were long gone by now, and all they felt was a burn on their faces. Not only did Fu Lingtian lose to Xianling sect's Yi Qingtang, but Fu Lingtian was also revealed to be a powerful figure at the 2nd heaven of martial qi level 1. The Wind Moon sect disciples looked at Yi Qingtang in reverence. Not long later, the Qinglin sect elders spoke after discussing. The sect in the first place this year is indeed Xianling sect. Apart from losing this year's wagers to Xianling sect, all the wagers we won last year will be returned to Xianling sect and Wind Moon sect in full amount. What do the 2 sects think? You all calculated really well. Without counting this year, Fu Lingtian has already been the champion for 3 years. If you all want to repay, it should at least be the wagers of the past 3 years and add another year's wager as our compensations. Elder Qin said mightily. Chapter 439, Compensation 2. The champion for this year was Yi Qingtang, and Qinglin sect naturally lost their wagers to Xianling sect. However, Fu Lingtian competed for 3 years consecutively and took 3 years' worth of rewards. How could Qinglin's sect be allowed to act so perfunctorily? That's right. Wind Moon's sect feels the same as well. A Wind Moon sect elder immediately echoed. Don't go too overboard. A Qinglin sect elder frowned. Overboard? A cold glint flashed across Elder Mo's eyes. This is giving you face. You all. Seeing how Wind Moon sect and Xianling sect refused to comply, the Qinglin sect elders' faces darkened. Yet they could not back down in the current situation. If they denied, Qinglin sect would probably no longer have any face in the future, and the sect's glory would be greatly affected. All right, Qinglin sect will repay, as you all said. The Qinglin sect elder clenched and gritted his teeth as though he was butchering meat. It was indeed them, Qinglin sect, who was in the wrong in this incident. No one would have expected Fu Lingtian to actually conceal his skills, and they could only comply, especially in face of the simultaneous coercion of Wind Moon sect and Xianling sect. Apart from this, Elder Mo said indifferently, "You must compensate my disciple, Yi Qingtang, one mind and heart pill." What? The Qinglin sect elder was stunned to hear Elder Mo. The mind and heart pill was a specialty of Qinglin sect, which had vastly small quantities, and was usually rewarded to Qinglin sect's chief disciple each year. The mind and heart pill could allow a martial qi level 1 cultivator to advance by a small stage and had great benefits even for a powerful figure at martial qi level 2. Nevertheless, the mind and heart pill was extremely precious, and Qinglin's sect never produced more than 3 a year. What a joke! Why would our sect need to compensate your disciple? The Qinglin sect elder hollered. Elder Mo sneered. Fu Lingtian's second heaven of martial qi level 2 skills have injured my disciple. Don't you ought to use one mind and heart pill as compensation? Injured your disciple? The few Qinglin sect elders stared blankly. Did he really treat them as idiots? Yi Qingtang crushed Fu Lingtian's knuckles on the ring and tortured Fu Lingtian in every possible way. And when Fu Lingtian displayed his second heaven martial qi level 2 skills, Elder Mo stepped in time to stop Fu Lingtian. How was his disciple, Yi Qingtang, injured? Then, Elder Mo looked at Yi Qingtang and asked, "Qingtang, how do you feel?" "Master, my inner qi is not stable while my vital energy and blood are churning. I should be injured from the imposing air of Fu Lingtian Stage 2 of Second Heaven. I'm afraid the foundation of my martial skills is affected," Yi Qingtang said extremely weakly while even putting on a fatigued expression on her face. "Oh, if that's the case, one mind and heart pill shouldn't be enough." Elder Mo looked at Yi Qingtang's weak appearance and frowned slightly. Yi Qingtang sighed. "Master, our Xianling sect is reasonable. As the saying goes, we should be easy on people. Moreover, Master has already told them to compensate one mind and heart pill. Our sect keeps true to our words." "Very well," Elder Mo nodded and said, "One mind and heart pill it is then." Watching how this pair of master and disciple echoed after each other, the Qinglin sect elder snickered in fury. Yi Qingtang had a ruddy expression and was full of vital essence. How did she look injured? Yet whatever she said made it actually seem that they, Qinglin sect, had a bargain. Chapter 440. Compensation 3. Don't talk amongst yourselves. Let Wind Moon's sect be the judge. The Qinglin sect waved a hand while his chest was in pain from anger. Qinglin sect had already agreed to the compensation. Once Wind Moon sect obtained the compensation, they would definitely not continue to make things difficult for Qinglin sect. As long as Wind Moon sect said something now and made their stand clear, Qinglin sect would definitely not be given out. I think that Yi Qingtang did suffer injustice. Someone at second heaven of martial qi level 2 was not supposed to appear at the 3-sect competition in the first place. Now that this Yi girl was injured by Fu Lingtian, there is nothing wrong for Qinglin sect to compensate one mind and heart pill, the Wind Moon sect elder said with a smile. Elder Dust's words are justified. Don't be so petty, Qinglin sect. The Yi girl isn't making a fuss about it already. So what if you compensate one mind and heart pill? Would your skin fall off from compensating it? Another Wind Moon sect elder laughed. While Qinglin's sect cheated in the competition, they had already agreed to compensate Wind Moon's sect, which they were on friendly terms with, and Wind Moon's sect should originally speak for Qinglin's sect. However, if not for Yi Qingtang, Wind Moon's sect would never know that Fu Lingtian was at the second heaven of Martial Qi Level 2, and even more so would not receive any compensation. Moreover, Yi Qingtang was Elder Mo's disciple, and Qinglin's sect was indeed in the wrong this time. There was no need to offend Xianling's sect and Elder Mo over this matter. The Wind Moon sect elders were very shrewd. Just from Yi Qingtang's performance, they knew that she was not an ordinary girl and would definitely shine one day in the future if there were no critical accidents. By speaking for Yi Qingtang today, she would remember something good about Wind Moon sect when she was accomplished in the future. The words of the Wind Moon sect's elders truly left the Qinglin sect elders dumbfounded. They never thought that Wind Moon sect, which was on the fence, would speak for Xianling's sect, although they had already agreed to the compensation. "There's no problem already," Elder Mo said without emotions after seeing how Wind Moon sect was so cooperative. Qinglin's sect requested Wind Moon sect to speak, and with it leaned towards Xianling's sect now. Qinglin's sect could only hold in their fury helplessly. "Humph!" A certain Qinglin sect elder snorted coldly before taking out a mind and heart pill and throwing it to Elder Mo. This mind and heart pill was originally planned to be a reward for Fu Lingtian after he won the first place, which was why the elder carried it around with him. Who would have expected that it would be taken away by Xianling's sect today? I'll give you the mind and heart pill to you first. As for the compensation, someone will pass it to both Xianling's sect and Wind Moon sect in half a month. Afterward, that Qinglin sect elder glared at Fu Lingtian fiercely. "Go!" The Qinglin sect elders no longer had any patience to remain there any longer and brought their disciples away. "Yi Qingtang, you will regret," a cold glint shone in Fu Lingtian's eyes. As he turned around and left, he swore in his heart to definitely make this girl have a taste of the most painful torture there was in the world. "Take care. We'll not send you off already." Yi Qingtang waved with a grin. Because of Fu Lingtian, Qinglin's sect naturally lost the rights to cultivate in Drifting Cloud Island this year, which really gave the Wind Moon sect disciples an advantage. "Ha! Elder Mo, you really know how to hide. You accepted such a talented disciple, but hid it from us so well." The Wind Moon sect elder walked up and laughed. "My inferior disciple is still not skilled. There's naturally nothing to show off about." Elder Mo replied. While he said that, the Wind Moon sect elder saw a hint of pride that bolted in Elder Mo's eyes. Chapter 441. Breakthrough 1. For sect elders like them, being able to produce a talented disciple was something they would be more pleased than obtaining a divine weapon, and they would take pride in their disciples. Evidently, Elder Mo was this way as well right now. "Elders have overpraised me. Master has taught me too many things, and I've only learned a few things on the surface." Yi Qingtang smiled as she cupped her fists. At that, the Wind Moon sect elders had an amazed expression. "Elder Mo, if only those commonplace disciples of mine were half as good as your disciple, I would be content. Elder Mo, I really cannot tell that you had such techniques. You must not be stingy to share with us your insights on teaching disciples." Another Wind Moon sect elder chimed in. After he heard that, a rare smile broke out on Elder Mo's icy cold face. "If there's a chance, you all can visit our sect and let this commonplace disciple of mine practice together with your disciples. There's no harm for them to learn from each other. What do you think, Qingtang?" "I will naturally follow your orders, Master," Yi Qingtang replied. Sure. You said this yourself, Elder Mo. If we are free sometime soon, we will definitely head to your sect." The Wind Moon sect elder nodded with a laugh. The Wind Moon sect elder showered Yi Qingtang with praises generously, and Elder Mo's face was naturally glowing. After Zhu Chang's defeat, Elder Lin, who had not said anything all the while, had a very astonished expression on his face at this moment. He was originally full of confidence in Zhu Chang's match. Yet unexpectedly, Zhu Chang'e still lost, and it was rather Yi Qingtang, whom he had never thought highly of, who amazed everyone with one brilliant performance. As Yi Qingtang's master, Elder Mo also gained some reputation. How could Elder Lin be happy? No one sensed Elder Lin's thoughts. After exchanging civilities, the elders of both sects brought their sects back to their area of residence. The disciples who were to remain in Drifting Cloud Island to cultivate this time had already been fixed. They were Yi Qingtang and Zhu Chang'e from Xinling's sect, while the Wind Moon sect elders decided for Feng Yiran to stay behind. As for the slots for other disciples, the sects would make another selection when they returned to their sects, where the chosen few would be sent to cultivate on Drifting Cloud Island half a year later. Then, Zhu Chang'e was extremely grateful towards Yi Qingtang. If not for Yi Qingtang, he simply would not have any fate with the cultivation rights on Drifting Cloud Island this year. And because of Yi Qingtang, he earned a slot for nothing. Temporary residence of Xinling sect. Elder Mo looked at Yi Qingtang beside her and placed the mind and heart pill from Qinglin's sect into her hands. Qingtang, although this mind and heart pill can allow a martial chi level 1 cultivator to stably improve by a small stage and be used to advance to martial chi level 2, it is not realistic. A few years later, when your skills reach martial chi level 2, it will be the best time to use this. Elder Mo explained. From Elder Mo's point of view, no matter how fast Yi Qingtang's speed of cultivation was, it would require at least 3 to 4 years for her to make a breakthrough to martial chi level 2 with her endowments. Using the mind and heart pill right now was extremely wasteful. Thank you, Master. They'll remember it. Yi Qingtang nodded firmly and smiled. However, with this mind and heart pill, Yi Qingtang was confident. One night was enough for her to break through to martial chi level 2. As Elder Mo watched Yi Qingtang leave, he let out a long sigh. If Yi Qingtang had a higher grade spirit root, he would have believed that she could break through to martial chi level 2 in at most a year. Nonetheless, Yi Qingtang's spirit root would not do, and she might not even reach martial chi level 2 even in 3 to 4 years. Chapter 442. Breakthrough 2. After returning to her room, Yi Qingtang held her breath in deep concentration and placed the mind and heart pill into her mouth. The mind and heart pill dissolved the moment it entered her mouth, and a searing breath entered her meridians immediately. Yi Qingtang closed her eyes and felt the flow of the inner qi in her body. The inner qi was like an ocean, while her body was a dry desert which absorbed everything in a second. The effect of the mind and heart pill was shocking and was the best for cultivators at martial chi level 1. Usually, normal cultivators would require at least more than 1 month to fully absorb the effects of the mind and heart pill. However, Yi Qingtang had the heart of the demon god. Using it as a carrier, her initial calculations were that it would only require a few hours for the full effects of the mind and heart pill to be absorbed. One night, and I will be able to make a breakthrough to martial chi level 2, Yi Qingtang considered internally. She was already not far away from martial chi level 2, and with this mind and heart pill now, the speed of her breakthrough would increase as if given help from heaven. Time passed. It seemed like the blink of an eye, yet also an entire century. Suddenly, there was a thunder in the sky above where Yi Qingtang's residence and spirit energy escalated rapidly, as though it was forming a nation of spirit energy. All of the Xinling sect and Wind Moon sect people were alarmed. Someone is about to break through to martial chi level 2? A Wind Moon sect elder walked out from his room and looked in the direction of Xinling sect's residence in astonishment. It was impossible to be an elder, as every sect elder was above martial chi level 2. Someone in Xinling sect is actually breaking through to martial chi level 2. Who is that? Another Wind Moon sect elder asked, astounded. Judging by that direction, that disciple of Elder Mo. On Xinling sect's side, Elder Qin was the first to be alarmed, while Elder Mo was a step later. Both of them exited their rooms and scanned the sky. There's actually a disciple from our sect who is about to break through to martial chi level 2? Elder Qin asked, extremely surprised. This intensity of spirit energy, Elder Mo was astounded. For normal cultivators, there would also be a condensation of spirit energy when breaking through to martial qi level 2 from martial qi level 1. However, the intensity of the condensation of spirit energy was more than double of normal cultivators. Even when Elder Mo made a breakthrough back then, the intensity of the spirit energy was far less than it was currently. Which disciple is it? Elder Mo had a look of confusion. Yi Qingtang. Elder Qin pointed to not far away. Qingtang? Elder Mo looked at where Yi Qingtang was staying in, and there was spirit energy lingering around it, as though there was a nation of spirit energy. The rich spirit energy rushed into Yi Qingtang's room like surging waves. She is charging towards martial qi level 2. Elder Mo's eyes dilated abruptly. That's right. And looking at the intensity of the spirit energy, your precious disciple is about to succeed, Elder Qin said. Protect Qingtang. Expressions of shock were written all over Elder Mo's face as he subsequently flew above Yi Qingtang's room. A cultivator must not be disrupted when charging towards a realm. Once it was stopped, the consequences would be dire. Okay. Elder Qin nodded and flew into the void, standing beside Elder Mo. An hour later, all the spirit energy in the void was completely absorbed by Yi Qingtang. Martial Qi level 2. In the room, Yi Qingtang sat cross-legged at her bedside as the corners of her lips tugged up slightly. Martial Qi level 2. Second heaven. Even Yi Qingtang herself did not expect that all the spirit energy in the void would be absorbed by the heart of the demon god, which acted as a carrier, without missing a tiny bit. And exactly because of the heart of the demon god, not only did she succeed in charging towards martial qi level 2 in a few hours, she even advanced by 2 small realms and directly rose to the second heaven of martial qi level 2. Chapter 443, Breakthrough 3. Initially, Elder Mo wanted to reproach Yi Qingtang for playing around. Without enough cultivation background, forcefully charging towards martial qi level 2 from the third heaven of martial qi level 1 would result in one being swallowed by their mental demons and have dire consequences should they fail. Once, a disciple whom Elder Mo doted on the most wanted to break through to martial qi level 2, but forcefully charged towards the realm without enough cultivation. Ultimately, the disciple's inner qi reversed, and he died on the spot. To now, Elder Mo was unable to forget how his disciple died tragically. However, looking at how Yi Qingtang's breathing was controlled, Elder Mo was deeply astonished, and the words that he wanted to lash out at her were no longer able to leave his mouth. Martial Qi Level 2. Second Heaven. Elder Mo was utterly dumbfounded on the spot in disbelief. When normal cultivators succeeded in charging towards a higher realm, they would at most advance from the third heaven of Martial Qi Level 1 to the first heaven of Martial Qi Level 2. However, Yi Qingtang surpassed his purview. Not only was she successful in charging towards a new realm, she even advanced to the second heaven of Martial Qi Level 2. Then, Elder Lin walked out of his room as well, and an expression of shock filled his face as he saw Yi Qingtang from not far away. Rapidly, Elder Lin's eyes were slightly gloomy. Yi Qingtang had already entered the second heaven of Martial Qi Level 2 currently, and she could even be able to have a battle with the chief disciple of Xianling's sect. Qingtang, come over here. Elder Mo waved at Yi Qingtang. After hearing that, Yi Qingtang nodded and walked to Elder Mo's side. It really is the second heaven of Martial Qi Level 2. Elder Mo's eyes twinkled, and the disbelief on his face turned into an inexplicable delight. Qingtang, it is really my blessing to have such a disciple like you. Elder Mo finally uttered with a sigh after a long while. What are you saying about Master? If you hadn't fought for a mind and heart pill for me, I would not be able to break through so easily. Yi Qingtang chuckled. Elder Mo shook his head with a laugh. While the mind and heart pill was precious, it was not like what Yi Qingtang said. If there could be such a miracle by relying on just one mind and heart pill, Qinglin's sect's current skills would probably have exceeded that of Yinxiao's sect long ago. Qingtang, you just made a breakthrough. Do rest well and consolidate your cultivation. After a long while, Elder Emma looked at Yi Qingtang with eyes full of adoration. In the room, Yi Qingtang sat on the floor. The inner qi in her body gradually turned into primordial qi. The body of a cultivator at the first heaven of martial qi level 1 had inner qi of which nature would change into primordial qi once the cultivator reached martial qi level 2. While there was only a difference in one word between inner qi and primordial qi, there was a world of differences. Inner qi could only be used to kill enemies, while primordial qi could be transformed into armies and even form a primordial qi wing for the cultivator travel in the air. All of this was unable to be done with inner qi. Since I've entered martial qi level 2, I can use the feather formation technique already, Yi Qingtang mumbled. Feather formation technique was a remarkable skill Yi Qingtang learned in her previous life, which used the primordial qi to create a pair of wings. Swiftly, the power of the primordial qi flowed out of her body, and a huge pair of wings instantly appeared on her back. The wings flapped slightly, and a hurricane ensued in the room. At the same time, Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered. She flapped her primordial qi wings and extinguished the oil lamp in the room. About a few breaths later, the door of the room opened with a squeak. "It's him." Yi Qingtang hid in a secret corner and observed the uninvited guest. Yi Qingtang did not expect Fu Lingtian to have such audacity to take her life without hesitating to intrude into Xianling's sex area. "Huh?" A sinister laugh broke out in the darkness. "Do you think you'll be fine as long as you hide?" Chapter 444. Line 1. Fu Lingtian suddenly raised his right arm and slammed the beam of the roof. In a moment, an extremely strong force of primordial qi crashed into the room like strong waves. Then, Yi Qingtang landed on the ground from the roof like an agile butterfly and avoided Fu Lingtian's attack. "Fu Lingtian, how bold of you to intrude into Xianling's sex area of residence. Are you not afraid of alarming the elders?" Yi Qingtang scoffed. "Xianling's sect?" Fu Lingtian's lips curled up slightly into a cold sneer. "What is Xianling's sect? How can it be compared to my Yunxiao sect?" Yi Qingtang narrowed her eyes when Fu Lingtian finished his sentence. Fu Lingtian actually mentioned Yunxiao sect in front of her forthrightly. It seemed that he no longer intended to conceal anymore. "Yi Qingtang, you are a mere disciple of a small sect and only have the cultivation of the third heaven of martial qi level 1. However, you deliberately forced me to reveal my true state of cultivation on the ring today. I'm afraid you must know something." A cold glint twinkled in Fu Lingtian's eyes. Previously, Yi had warned that once he revealed his true skills in front of the three sects, he would definitely be heavily punished by the sect. Fu Lingtian kept it in mind and was very cautious during the competition. Yet, he was forced to reveal his true skills because of Yi Qingtang today, and the sect would definitely not forgive him. Whichever route he had spelled death, and naturally, he would not let Yi Qingtang off. "Fu Lingtian, you barge into my room in the night. Could it be that it is to ask me if I know about anything?" Yi Qingtang was unconcerned. "You reminded me." Fu Lingtian walked towards Yi Qingtang slowly and said, "Everything is no longer important. Today, I will kill you first." Then, the imposing air of the second heaven of martial qi level 2 spread in the room, which shrouded and trapped Yi Qingtang. "Aren't you very nimble? Go on and flee." There was a cruelly playful expression on Fu Lingtian's face. "Senior brother Fu, I'm wrong. Please spare my life." Looking at the murderous Fu Lingtian, a strange look flashed across her eyes, though fear was etched on her face. "Ah, it's a pity that's a little too late." Fu Lingtian scoffed and immediately slammed a hand towards Yi Qingtang. Fu Lingtian's slap possessed a large force of primordial qi, which contained the air of destruction. Even a person at the first heaven of martial qi level 2 would die, without a doubt, under this attack. This girl brought so much trouble to him, and he already intended to kill her long ago. Thus, He no longer had any reservations using the skills of the second heaven of martial chi level 2. However, boom! Yi Qingtang stretched a hand out and immediately stopped Fu Lingxin's left palm. In an instant, the fear on Yi Qingtang's face faded, and her lips tugged up and formed into a devilish smile. I was lying. You. Fu Lingtian was astonished. There was the force of primordial qi around Yi Qingtang. Martial qi level 2. Second heaven? Fu Lingtian was in utter disbelief. Why was the attainment of this Yi Qingtang of Xianling sect the same as his in just a few hours? You actually hid your skills as well. Fu Lingtian clenched his teeth tightly. He naturally would not believe that Yi Qingtang just made a breakthrough, and he thought that she was also at the second heaven of martial qi level 2, but suppressed her skills as he did. Senior brother Fu, how are you going to take my life now? Yi Qingtang smiled. Fu Lingtian was outraged, and the force of his primordial qi escalated to the maximum. He immediately broke free from Yi Qingtang's restraint and turned around in an attempt to escape. Chapter 445. Lying. 2. Senior brother Fu, how are you going to take my life now? Yi Qingtang smiled. Fu Lingtian was outraged, and the force of his primordial qi escalated to the maximum. He immediately broke free from Yi Qingtang's hold and turned around in an attempt to escape. Then, Fu Lingtian was already aware that Yi Qingtang was at second heaven of martial qi level 2. Even if he could kill her, it would cause a stirring, and the Xianling sect people would definitely be alerted since this was Xianling sect's area of residence. Yi Qingtang's speed was originally swift. Now, after breaking through to the second heaven of martial qi level 2, her skills had increased multiple folds, and her speed was all the more incomparable to before. In the blink of an eye, Yi Qingtang had already blocked Fu Lingxin's way. Want to escape? Yi Qingtang let out a cold laugh. Just stay since you're already here. Then, Yi Qingtang gathered all the force of her primordial qi into her fingers. Whiz! With the pointing of a finger, a piercing sound lingered in one's ears as though the air was still. Fu Lingtian was startled after feeling the force of Yi Qingtang's one finger. He originally wanted to leave, but Yi Qingtang's finger was pointed very brilliantly as it sealed his route of retreat and rendered him to have no way of escape. In a moment of desperation, Fu Lingtian launched a lousy attack, but the speed of Yi Qingtang's finger was too fast, and Fu Lingtian was too late. Boom! This finger fiercely landed on Fu Lingxin's chest. In the next second, a shrill scream escaped Fu Lingxin's mouth. His entire body floated in the sky and was flung out of the room like a kite with a snapped string. Yi Qingtang chased after, but before she attacked again, Elder Mo suddenly appeared. What audacity! There was a cold glint twinkling in Elder Mo's eyes as he slammed his palm against Fu Lingtian. Ow! Fu Lingtian was already injured by Yi Qingtang and was now attacked by Elder Mo, who suddenly appeared. After sustaining another injury on top of his previous injuries, his face paled, and blood spurted out of his mouth. Young one, how dare you intrude into my Xianling sect's area of residence and attack my disciple in secret? Elder Mo grabbed Fu Lingxin's collar, lifting him in midair. Yi Qingtang had just advanced to martial qi level 2 not long ago, and Elder Mo had been guarding in the vicinity. After hearing some unusual noise from Yi Qingtang's room, Elder Mo immediately rushed over. Very quickly, Elder Mo and Elder Lin appeared as well. Fu Lingtian from Qinglin sect? What's going on? Elder Qin's brows were tightly furrowed. This bastard intruded Qingtang's room with evil designs, Elder Mo said coldly. What? Elder Qin was shocked. Then, he shot a furious glare and pointed at Fu Lingtian. How bold of you to do anything to satisfy your lust. Yi Qingtang's lips twitched upon hearing that. He was here to kill her all right. Elder Qin, Fu Lingtian is here to kill me. Yi Qingtang explained. Elder Qin was stunned and instantly understood the situation. Awkwardness filled his face. Elder Mo, you should speak more clearly. Evil designs can cause misunderstanding. Elder Qin coughed lightly to cover up his embarrassment. Elder Mo did not bother with Elder Qin as he gripped Fu Lingxian's throat. Speak. Did Qinglin's sect instruct you to do this? Then, Fu Lingxian's face was flushed, and he had difficulty in breathing. Are you not speaking? Elder Mo's expression darkened. Elder Mo, you're strangling his throat. How is he to talk? Elder Qin reminded. Humph. Elder Mo lifted his right arm and threw Fu Lingtian on the floor. You all, this bunch of old things. Fu Lingtian looked at the elders. Do you have a death wish? Elder Mo was filled with murderous intent. Chapter 446. Lying 3. Ha ha ha. However, Fu Lingtian crackled in disdain. I am a Yunxiao sect disciple. Do you all dare to lay a finger on me? Yunxiao sect. Elder Lin was startled. Aren't you a Qinglin sect disciple? How did you become a Yunxiao sect disciple? Yunxiao sect was at its peak and was the rich and powerful sect. Their history could even be traced to thousands of years ago. They had a deep-seated background and was not what the three sects could compare to. Fu Lingtian scoffed. There are too many things you all don't know. In the eyes of Yunxiao sect, you all are merely a slaughterhouse. If you don't say it clearly, you will be torn into pieces tonight. Elder Mo ordered coldly. How pitiful. Fu Lingtian shook his head and continued. Xianling sect, Qinglin sect, Wind Moon sect. These are all slaughterhouses to feed the spirit roots of Yunxiao sect disciples. However, what can you do even if you all know about this? You're saying that Yunxiao sect knows a technique to swallow spirit roots? Elder Lin seemed to be deep in thought. Don't bullshit any longer. I advise you all to release me immediately. Otherwise, angering my Yunxiao sect, your Xianling sect would definitely be exterminated. Fu Lingtian said mightily. Exterminated. Then a glint flashed in Yi Qingtang's eyes. Some past events that were almost forgotten floated in her mind immediately. In her previous life, she had once cultivated in Xianling sect. A long time after leaving the sect, she happened to hear that Xianling sect was exterminated in a night. The Grand Elder, Elder Mo, Elder Qin, all the higher-ups of Xianling sect were killed, and Xianling sect vanished from then on. In her previous lifetime, Yi Qingtang did not have any feelings towards Xianling sect, and even when she heard rumors of Xianling sect's extermination, she did not feel anything. Even more so, that period of time was almost forgotten. However, it was no longer the same after her rebirth. Unknowingly, Xianling sect had found a way into her heart. There were too many things that she could not break off from the sect. Master Elder Mo, Elder Qin, those fellow disciples whom she was close to. Thinking about it carefully now, the only force in the area which could wipe out Xianling sect without a sound was the powerful Yunxiao sect. There are Yunxiao sect disciples hiding in your Xianling sect as well. Yi Qingtang returned to her senses and heard Fu Lingtian. Who is it? Elder Mo roared sternly. Who is it? Fu Lingtian scoffed. So what if you all know? Could it be that you all dare to touch a Yunxiao sect disciple? Fu Lingtian was aware that Yunxiao sect would definitely not forgive him after he displayed his true skills. Now, he no longer had any fears, and, all the more, there was nothing he was afraid to say. If you don't say it, they'll take your life. Elder Mo assumed a posture in preparation to attack. Wait! Suddenly, Elder Lin walked forward and stopped Elder Mo. Elder Mo, we must investigate this matter clearly. If he really is a Yunxiao sect disciple, we must not touch him at all. Elder Lin said. This time, Elder Qin agreed with Elder Lin. Fu Lingtian only said that he was a Yunxiao sect disciple, but there was no concrete evidence. Moreover, this matter implicated too many things, and any decisions could only be made after investigating clearly. All right, this matter cannot be delayed. I'll bring him back to the sect first and report this matter to the Grand Elder and Sect Master. Elder Mo said. Okay. Yi Qingtang nodded her head in agreement. Subsequently, Elder Mo grabbed Fu Lingtian and flew into the sky, disappearing without a trace. Chapter 447, Worries 1. In the room, Yi Qingtang's slightly furrowed brows never relaxed. That day when Yi Yu and Fu Lingtian met, they vaguely mentioned that there was someone from Yunxiao sect and Xianling sect, and Fu Lingtian mentioned this again today. Yi Qingtang believed that this was definitely related to the extermination of Xianling sect in her previous life. Could it be that Yi Qingtang's expression changed slightly? Given Yunxiao sect's prestige, it would never allow a scandal to be brought to light. If Xianling sect discovered that there was a Yunxiao sect disciple hidden in the sect, Yunxiao sect would definitely exterminate Xianling sect to prevent this matter from being revealed to the public. In Yi Qingtang's previous life, Xianling sect's extermination happened about a few years later. However, this time, because of Fu Lingtian, perhaps it was accelerated. If Fu Lingtian did not reveal his true cultivation level in the 3-sect competition this year, he would not resent her so much to even intrude into her room and attempt to kill her. After Fu Lingtian's skills were exposed, Yunxiao sect would definitely not let him off. Suddenly, Yi Qingtang's expression changed. Fu Lingtian deliberately saying that there was also a Yunxiao sect disciple in Xianling sect. Must be because he wanted to drag Xianling sect down. Once Xianling sect found out who the hidden disciple was, Yunxiao sect would definitely wipe out Xianling sect with wrath. Yunxiao sect was one of the influential sects at their peak in the formidable Heavens dynasty. To the 3 sects, it was a colossus, a heavenly mountain that was impossible to surmount. In the room, Yi Qingtang's brows frowned tightly. If everything developed according to her guesses, Xianling sect's extermination was already accelerated unknowingly. I need to have my martial arts skills break through to Yin Yang True Lord. Otherwise, there's no way it can be prevented. Yi Qingtang shut her eyes and was deep in thought. The so-called Yin Yang True Lord was the realm after martial Qi level 3. Since ancient times, the martial way had been divided into 10 realms. Martial Qi level 1, Martial Qi level 2, Martial Qi level 3, Yin Yang True Lord, Arcane Supremacy, Heavenly Venerate, Paragon, Divine Lord, Divine Emperor, and Immortal Emperor. On this extremely remote mainland, mighty figures at their peak were only at Yin Yang True Lord because of the backward martial culture and the insufficient spirit energy. Any realm after Yin Yang True Lord had never appeared on this mainland since thousands of years ago. This world was actually formed by a vast ocean and was coined as the mortal world. In the primordial mortal world, there were no islands or land, and only an ocean where the primordial human civilization lived at the bottom of the sea. However, tens of thousands of years later, the primordial humans were tired of living in the sea and scattered sacred objects around the ocean, which formed into islands of different sizes. After attaining the Paragon realm in her previous life, Yi Qingtang's horizon was widened, and she knew a total of thousands of islands. Every island was a mainland in the present day. These islands were later divided into 3 big domains: Blue Sky Domain, Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, and Divine Venerate Domain. Amongst the 3, there were the least islands in Blue Sky Domain, and its martial culture could not be compared to that of Mixed Heavens Holy Domain and Divine Venerate Domain. 100 years later in her previous life, Yi Qingtang once headed to the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain and was shocked by its martial culture. The skills of the most ordinary sect disciples in Mixed Heavens Holy Domain were far above that of a Yin Yang True Lord. Even a high-level arcane supremacy was very common in Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. To give an example, if any random ordinary sect disciple in Mixed Heavens Holy Domain came to this mainland, they could easily destroy a colossal Yunxiao sect just by lifting a hand. Sects like Xianling sect were rooted in the formidable Heavens dynasty, with Yunxiao sect being one of the most powerful sections. The Nine Knights dynasty and Formidable Heavens dynasty were arch-enemies, and both had been in hundreds of battles with each other in the past 1,000 years. In the Formidable Heavens dynasty, there were powerful forces which could compete with Yunxiao sect, and one of them was the Falling Sky Valley. Because of Yi Yu, Yi Qingtang was ultimately hunted down for her life by Yunxiao sect in her previous life. There was nowhere to turn for help, and she was forced to hide in Nine Knights dynasty, where she was rescued by the master of a valley division in Falling Sky Valley, who was known as Perfected Xianqian. Yunxiao sect did not dare to remain in the Nine Knights dynasty for long, or even more so fight with the Falling Sky Valley on Nine Knights dynasty's territory, and thus could only return. From then on, Yi Qingtang remained in Falling Sky Valley. Regardless of her previous or present life, Yi Qingtang's feelings towards Falling Sky Valley could not be cut off. Her master, Perfected Xianqian, as well as her senior brothers and sisters, and that dirty black dog behind the mountain, which only knew how to speak the human language. At this moment, Yi Qingtang was lost in her painful memories. In the eruption of the war between Nine Knights dynasty and Formidable Heavens dynasty, the internal corruption of the Nine Knights dynasty resulted in the Formidable Heavens dynasty's great victory, where Yunxiao sect and other influential sects charged into the Nine Knights dynasty. Chapter 449 Spirit Life Flower 1. Because of the revelation of the heart of the demon god in her previous life, Yi Qingtang could only leave Xianling sect. Yet, Elder Lin, who heard the news a long time ago, ambushed her. If Yin Shu had not saved her, she would probably have died then. After escaping from Elder Lin's hands, she concealed her true identity and stepped into Falling Sky Valley after many twists and turns. In her previous life, she originally thought that she could settle down in Falling Sky Valley. Yet, in the eruption of the war between Nine Knights dynasty and Formidable Heavens dynasty, the internal corruption of the Nine Knights dynasty resulted in the Formidable Heavens dynasty's great victory, where Yunxiao sect and other influential sects charged into the Nine Knights dynasty. In order to protect Yi Qingtang, Perfected Xianqian was involved in a bloody battle with Yunxiao sect and killed the sect master of Yunxiao sect, as well as several elders with his own force. However, because his energy was depleted, Yi Yu's sneak attack using the poison of a venomous insect was successful, and he was poisoned to death. Yi Qingtang would never forget the scene where her fellow disciples fought with their lives. That day became a hell with corpses laying all over. A cold glint shot across Yi Qingtang's eyes, and the aura of her realm exuded around her. I will never let the tragedy repeat again, be it Xianling sect or Falling Sky Valley. With a whiz, Yi Qingtang stood up. After her rebirth, she was finally overflowing with desire for power. Only with power could she be able to change it. Only by becoming stronger could she turn things around and fight with the heavens. In her previous life, the heavens let her spirit root be stolen, let Nine Knights dynasty be tragically defeated, and let Falling Sky Valley be annihilated because of the combined forces of influential sects. Now that Yi Qingtang was reborn, how could she watch history's tragedy replay itself before her eyes? If that was the case, what was the use of her rebirth? What was the point of her living in the world? I, Yi Qingtang, vow that from now on, Yi Qingtang clenched her fists and a cold glint shone in her eyes. If anyone blocks me, I will kill them. If gods hinder me, I will massacre them. If the heavens are heartless, I will go against the heavens. Everything in her heart was precious, and she would protect them from then on. Those who wanted to steal anything precious to her must become corpses under her feet. Yi Qingtang stood up instantly. Primordial chi was exuded, and a pair of snow-white wings appeared behind her back. While the spirit energy in Drifting Cloud Island was rich, she was already at martial chi level 2, and the spirit energy on the island was very limited to the increment in her skills. If she wanted to increase her skills as quickly as possible, she could only take the other path. Whiz! A piercing sound rang. Yi Qingtang flapped the huge wings behind her and flew towards the sky and into the clouds. In just the blink of an eye, there was no trace of her. A mountain valley at the north of formidable Heaven's dynasty. Yi Qingtang was currently in the air as her snow-white wings flapped. There was an open mountain valley below her where rivers intersected, and a dense forest surrounded it, making it seem like another world. Yi Qingtang scanned that mountain valley, and her eyes flickered slightly. There was a numinous treasure called the Spirit Life Flower in this mountain valley. In the world, the number of items which could improve one's spirit root was very few. However, not only could the Spirit Life Flower improve a cultivator's primordial chi, but it also had the benefit of cleansing one's spirit root. As long as the Spirit Life Flower was used, even ordinary spirit roots could be improved. However, this spirit life root was extremely rare. Thus, there was almost no method of improving one's spirit root in the world. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang once heard that Yi Yu somehow gained news that there was an immature spirit life flower here and ordered one of her trusted subordinates to guard here. Once the spirit life flower was ripe, it was to be plucked and brought back to Yi Yu to improve her spirit root. Chapter 450, Spirit Life Flower 1. This Spirit Life Flower was effective in improving even ordinary spirit roots, and for Yi Qingtang's current spirit root, it would only be better. Presently, she had to obtain both the Spirit Life Flower and the Black Heaven Water. However, the Yunxiao sect disciple guarding the Spirit Life Flower here was rather skilled as well. Although Yi Qingtang knew it, she initially did not intend to take a risk and snatch it. Yet, she was forced by the situation. She faintly sensed a hint of danger from the revelation of Fu Lingxian's identity. She had to increase the realm of her martial skills in the shortest time possible. Otherwise, all her lofty sentiment and soaring determination would be nothing but empty talk. Between the clouds, Yi Qingtang looked at the area in the mountain valley which was the most abundant in spirit energy. A male who looked below 30 was guarding near a huge rock where the Spirit Life Flower was growing at the top of the rock. According to Yi Qingtang's observations, the Spirit Life Flower was already ripe, and the man had not plucked it probably because he felt that the effects would be better if it was a little riper. Yi Qingtang scanned that man whose cultivation was about martial chi level 3. Given Yi Qingtang's second heaven of martial chi level 2, it was a little too unrealistic to snatch the Spirit Life Flower away from someone at martial chi level 3. Over the past 2 days, Yi Qingtang had remained here all along and did not return to Xianling's sect. The Spirit Life Flower was extremely effective to her. Before Xianling's sect's mystic realm started, the Spirit Life Flower was the only method she could think of which would raise her skills by the greatest extent. As the level of her skills moved higher, the speed of her improvement in skills would slow down. Yi Qingtang did not wish to miss this chance. However, that Yunxiao sect disciple guarded by the rock over the past 2 days and never left a step, which made it hard for Yi Qingtang to make a move. If she stole it up front, she was not an opponent of that martial chi level 3 person given her current skills, and she would never do anything she had no confidence in. Nevertheless, Yi Qingtang never wasted any time while waiting for the opportunity as she consolidated her cultivation level in the clouds. Even in the earliest hours of the third morning, Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered as she looked straight ahead. Then a middle-aged man about 40 years old walked towards the direction of Yi Qingtang. TSK, TSK, TSK. My luck is really good. There's actually such a beauty here in the wild. The middle-aged man looked at Yi Qingtang with a sinister laugh. Yi Qingtang glimpsed at the middle-aged man before her and was stunned. Etiancho. Etiancho was the number 9 on the sex assassination roll. The Spirit Life Flower was a treasure that could be chanced upon, but not sought after. How could the Xianling sect disciple before him have the Spirit Life Flower? I don't have it, Yi Qingtang said. You're fooling me? Etiancho's expression darkened instantly. but I know where the spirit life flower is. In a spot in the mountain valley where the spirit energy is rich, a spirit life flower is growing there. I can bring you there, Yi Qingtang said immediately. After hearing her, Yi Tianqiu was deep in thought for a moment, and then nodded. All right, you'll bring me to take a look. However, if you dare to lie to me, the Yunxiao sect disciple was rather stunned after taking a clear look at the man's face. Yi Tianqiu was ranked 9 on the assassination roll, and he naturally saw a portrait of Yi Tianqiu as a Yunxiao sect disciple. It was said that Yi Tianqiu's cultivation level was already at the perfected first heaven of martial qi level 3, and was only a half step away from entering the second heaven of martial qi level 3. However, in these 5 years, Yi Tianqiu's skills never advanced, and he had not made a breakthrough for a long time. Despite so, the Yunxiao sect disciple did not dare to let down his guard. Yi Tianqiu, do you know that I'm a Yunxiao sect disciple? If you know what's the best for you, get lost from here quickly, the Yunxiao sect disciple commanded coldly. Yunxiao sect disciple, Yi Tianqiu, suddenly let out a loud laugh. There are numerous female Yunxiao sect disciples who were humiliated to death by me. It is said that when there are too many deaths, one stops worrying about them. Could it be that you don't understand this logic? Yunxiao sect disciple, hand this spirit life flower to me, and it'll let you live. How about that? Without waiting for the Yunxiao sect disciple to say anything, Yi Tianqiu spoke again. Chapter 453. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. 1. The skills of this Yunxiao sect disciple were indeed good, and were similarly at first heaven of martial qi level 3. Yi Tianqiu knew that even if he could kill the Yunxiao sect disciple, he would be wounded as well. It would naturally be the best if the person gave in and left. However, what a joke! The Yunxiao sect disciple scoffed. Yi Tianqiu, aren't you too bold? Do you know that this spirit life flower is an item that Yi Yu, the holy lady of my Yunxiao sect, wants? How dare you fight with senior sister Yi Yu for it? When mentioning Yi Yu, the eyes of this Yunxiao sect disciple were full of worship and adoration. Ever since Yi Yu entered the sect, she was regarded highly by the sect master of Yunxiao sect and was conferred as the holy lady of Yunxiao sect. It goes without saying that her position in the sect was extremely high. Humph! Yi Tianqiu scoffed. Whoever it is, this spirit life flower is mine today. Since you can't appreciate my kindness and want death, I'll grant you that. Yi Tianqiu, you have a death wish. Before Yi Tianqiu made any move, the Yunxiao sect disciple took the advantage of striking first as he drew out a long sword from the scabbard on his waist with a crisp clang. As he waved his sword, the image of the sword was like a screen which almost turned into a substantial sword aura that charged towards Yi Tianqiu. Overconfident, a cold glint twinkled in Yi Tianqiu's eyes as he launched a strike with his palm that crushed the sword aura of the Yunxiao sect disciple. That Yunxiao sect disciple was actually rather skilled, but his cultivation was at the mid-stage of the first heaven of martial qi level 3, while Yi Tianqiu's skills had already reached the perfected stage of the first heaven of martial qi level 3. Regardless of the background and experience in the realm, he was superior to the Yunxiao sect disciple. At that instant, Yi Qingtang was standing near the huge rock where she spectated the match between Yi Tianqiu and the Yunxiao sect disciple with indifference. An icy scoff that was hard to detect hung on the corner of her lips. Boom! A loud bang echoed throughout the surrounding area. The Yunxiao sect disciple was hit on his abdomen by Yi Tianqiu and was flung out like a kite with a snapped string. However, Yi Tianqiu did not have a large gain. His left shoulder was stabbed by the Yunxiao sect disciple, and fresh blood stained his sleeves red in a moment. Under the tattered clothes was a ghastly sword wound so deep that his bones could be seen. Little brat of Yunxiao sect, I think you're tired of living. Yi Tianqiu was utterly wrathful after being injured by the Yunxiao sect disciple. He lifted his right arm, and fiercely waved it in the air. In a moment, a hurricane ensued, and the force of the primordial chi condensed into a giant golden palm in the air. The speed of the giant golden palm was extremely rapid as it dove down at the Yunxiao sect disciple. Caught off guard, the Yunxiao sect disciple was suppressed by the giant golden palm. With a loud woe, he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. TSK, TSK. I've been stuck in the first heaven of martial chi level 3 for 5 years while you advance to first heaven of martial chi level 3 for at most 2 years. How can you be my opponent? Ancho snickered evilly as he walked towards the Yunxiao sect disciple with a brutal expression. Sword of the Heaven technique. The Yunxiao sect shouted. Destroy! As the Yunxiao sect disciple spoke, the long sword in his hand charged towards Ancho at the speed of lightning. Upon seeing this, Ancho's expression changed, and he hurriedly retreated, temporarily avoiding the tip of the sword. The force of the primordial chi, with a breath of destruction on the long sword, was extremely terrifying. While Ancho's speed was swift and was not stabbed by the long sword, the breath of destruction within the sword wounded him. Chapter 454. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. 2. Blood was flowing out of Ancho's mouth then. He avoided in time, fortunately. Otherwise, if he was attacked head-on, the breath of destruction would tear him into shreds in just 1 second. The sword with senior sister Yi Yu's aura. Despicable. The Yunxiao sect disciple clenched his teeth. Yi Yu had used the force of the blue spirit root to inject a breath of destruction in his long sword, which was enough to save his life and counterattack. Yet unexpectedly, Ancho luckily dodged it. Die! Ancho hollered in fury and darted to the front of the Yunxiao sect disciple. Without giving him any time to react, Ancho slammed his palm directly on the Yunxiao sect disciple's crown. Immediately, the crushing of bones could be heard, and blood gushed out from the Yunxiao sect disciple's eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Thump! The Yunxiao sect disciple collapsed on the ground like a pile of mud and lost his life on the spot after taking just 2 breaths. After killing the Yunxiao sect disciple, Ancho immediately leaped up and plucked the light cyan spirit life flower on the huge rock away. You've obtained the spirit life flower. You can release me already, right? Yi Qingtang looked at Ancho, who already gained the spirit life flower. At that moment, Ancho's complexion was ghastly pale. After the battle with the Yunxiao sect disciple, his injuries were not light, and he was especially severely injured from the breath of destruction that was injected using the force of Yi Yu's spirit root. Presently, Ancho naturally did not have the energy to do anything to Yi Qingtang, but he would not spare her life either. TSK. Little beauty, thank you for telling me about the spirit life flower. Ancho smiled sinisterly. However, I never intended to let you go. It's a pity that I'm injured and can't do wonderful things with you. It truly is a pity. Upon hearing that, Yi Qingtang had a shocked expression on her face as she replied. You actually lied. Ha ha. Ancho chortled loudly. I'm going to recuperate in this mountain valley. If I let you go, you will definitely disclose this information. Furthermore, I don't have the habit of setting anyone free. A hint of bloodthirst twinkled in his eyes as he walked towards Yi Qingtang. Little beauty, Ancho, eyes twinkled. Goodbyes. Seeing that Ancho was going to strike, Yi Qingtang seemed as though she was extremely petrified. No, fear was etched on Yi Qingtang's face. Ancho sneered even deeper after seeing Yi Qingtang's reaction. He immediately accumulated a huge amount of force in his palm and slammed towards Yi Qingtang's crown. Swoosh! However, as he was launching this quick attack, what he never expected was that this extremely frail-looking beauty would strike at this moment. Almost instantly, Yi Qingtang struck with her palm in lightning speed. Boom! A deafening sound echoed the entire area when the two palms met. In the next second, Ancho retreated over 10 steps in disbelief as he spat a streak of blood. You! Ancho looked at Yi Qingtang in disbelief. Martial Qi Level 2. Second Heaven. At the same time, the expression of fear on Yi Qingtang's face vanished completely, and it was replaced with an evil smile. Tianchu's face was awfully pallid like that of a dead corpse as he stared at Yi Qingtang disbelievingly. You! Tianchu was astounded. Me? An unknowing smile was hung on Yi Qingtang's lips. What about me? Damn woman! You're lying to me. Tianchu was ranked 9 on the assassination roll and was able to live in the world without being killed by the Sex and formidable Heavens dynasty. How could he not be smart? Tianchu was not a fool. As long as he thought for a while, it was clear to him. The girl before him was not injured at all. Even more so, she laid a trap for him from the very start. Lying to you? Yi Qingtang raised her brows as she sneered. How can you say that? Isn't the spirit life flower here? Tianchu clenched his teeth tightly and wished he could shred Yi Qingtang into pieces. However, Tianchu, you don't have the ability to obtain this spirit life flower. I still must thank you for handing this spirit life flower to me. Laughter filled Yi Qingtang's eyes as she picked up the spirit life flower that escaped Tianchu's hands previously. Chapter 455. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. 3. This girl. How deep and vicious you are. Tianchu felt torn apart as he watched Yi Qingtang keep the spirit life flower away. He fought for the spirit life flower with his life, but it was ultimately a dowry for others. Vicious? Yi Qingtang could not help but laugh. If it were other girls who were not skilled enough and did not set such a trap for Tianchu, their ending would have been miserably tragic. Huh? Yi Qingtang scoffed coldly. If I didn't act like I'm weak and dumb, how could I lead you to snatch the spirit life flower and defeat both you and that Yunxiao sect disciple? Given Yi Qingtang's cultivation, she was not able to defeat either Tianchu or the Yunxiao sect disciple who was guarding here. Obtaining the spirit life flower from the Yunxiao sect disciple was nothing but a pipe dream. Tianchu came knocking on the door himself and jumped into the hole. He could only be blamed for being innocently foolish. Now, the Yunxiao sect disciple was killed by Tianchu, while Tianchu was severely injured by the Yunxiao sect disciple before he died. As such, Yi Qingtang had absolute control now. All this while, Tianchu did not think much of her, and thus was not on his guard against her, especially when she attacked him earlier on when he was already injured. Facing someone at the first heaven of martial Qi level 3, who was full of weak points and even heavily injured, Yi Qingtang naturally had no fears. Everything was in Yi Qingtang's control. From the very start when Tianchu appeared, he was destined to be a dead man. Before she had any absolutely powerful martial skills, the brain was also a good asset which even surpassed martial skills at certain times. To repay you for helping me to snatch this spirit life flower, I've decided to lay you to rest in this mountain valley. What do you think? The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips tugged up. As she spoke, there was a crisp clang, and the demonic blood sword appeared, filling the air with a frightening demonic aura. You? Sensing Yi Qingtang's murderous intent, Tianchu was filled with horror. His combat capability decreased greatly when he was heavily injured by the Yunxiao sect disciple before he died. Moreover, this girl launched a sneak attack on him earlier. With those injuries, the primordial qi in his body was erratic, and his blood flow was disorderly, causing his entire body to wobble. Not mentioning about fighting back, he was almost losing the strength to even stand straight. Puff! The moment the demonic blood sword was drawn out, the blood-colored sword aura seeped out like a mighty torrent. Before Tianchu knew what happened, his right arm was already chopped off by the demonic blood sword. HHHH! Shrill cries escaped Tianchu's mouth as anger and unwillingness were evident on his face. Ancho, had trampled around formidable heaven's dynasty freely for over a decade, and he had never respected the most skilled and powerful formidable heavens royal. A living legend, he even dared to offend the Yunxiao sect, yet never expected that he would lose his life in the hands of a female disciple of Xianling's sect. Ancho looked at Yi Qingtang as though he wanted to say something. However, Yi Qingtang did not give Ancho any chance to speak, and a cold glint shone as she waved the demonic blood sword lightly. With a swoosh, a blood ripple was seen in the midair. In the next second, Tiancha's skull was flung into the sky, and large gushes of blood spouted out from his neck area like the spattering of rain which stained the entire ground red. Tiancha's head fell somewhere far away and rolled away like a ball, leaving a trace of blood on the ground. A headless body collapsed on the ground and gradually turned cold. Chapter 456, Great Harvest 1. Yi Qingtang stared at Ancho, whose head was separated from the body. Her eyes did not show any trace of pity, as countless women would suffer with this kind of person living in the world. Soon, Yi Qingtang walked forward and raided everything on Ancho. She was not interested to take his head, as she was not heading back to the sect. It was not very convenient to carry a human head with her. Ancho had an old kung fu technique book and a bag of spirit stones with him. There was also a gold token. This is the token of the Assassination Alliance. Yi Qingtang was in deep thought as she stared at the token. The Assassination Alliance consisted of the most vicious people whose names were on the assassination roll. The dark gold token showed the identity and the position of the person in the Assassination Alliance. Yi Qingtang did not think much and kept the token away. She then threw the book at the side. Yi Qingtang had stepped into the Paragon realm in her previous life, and the martial skills that she cultivated were the Paragon skills. How would she be interested in the skills that a person with martial chi level 3 possessed? Yi Qingtang was most interested in the bag of spirit stones. Medium-grade spirit stones. Yi Qingtang opened the bag, and there were 12 spirit stones inside. The spirit stones were classified into superior, medium, and lower grades. Lower-grade spirit stones were sold in normal auctions and the treasure pavilion. They were very ordinary, and Yi Qingtang always fed them as snacks to her lightning dragon. The medium-grade spirit stones were different. A medium-grade spirit stone was worth more than 1,000 of lower-grade ones. It contained sufficient spirit energy for cultivators to absorb and upgrade their ability, and it could also be used as a currency. On the road of martial art cultivation, the stronger and more powerful you were, the more useless the gold and silver currency were. Gold and silver were completely useless if one reached the yin-yang true lord level. The items in the top treasure pavilions and auctions were mostly divine weapons and paragon treasures, and gold and silver could never be used to purchase them. The currency in exchange would be medium-grade spirit stones. Gold and silver were the currency for the weak. The medium-grade and superior-grade spirit stones were the currency for the strong. The land that was more advanced did not even have gold or silver. The currency used was all superior-grade spirit stones, or even stones with higher quality. The medium-grade spirit stones could be the main currency for the strong, as they contained a large amount of spirit energy and could improve one's cultivation. Gold and silver were useless for strong cultivators. Ancho was at the martial chi level 3. It was not strange for him to have the medium-grade spirit stones. At this level, gold and silver slowly faded out of the currency and were replaced by medium-grade spirit stones. The spirit energy that a medium-grade spirit stone contained could be compared to 1,000 of lower-grade spirit stones. 12 of them were equal to 12,000 lower-grade spirit stones. Yi Qingtang was slightly delighted. 12 medium-grade spirit stones was not a small number, as the elder of the Xianling sect only received a few medium-grade spirit stones every month. 12 medium-grade spirit stones. If the spirit energy can be absorbed by the heart of the demon god, maybe I can break through to the third heaven of martial chi level 2. Yi Qingtang murmured to herself. For normal people, they might need at least a few hundred medium-grade spirit stones. However, Yi Qingtang was different, as she possessed the heart of the demon god. Yi Qingtang, reaching the paragon level after 300 years since she left the sect in her previous life, was all due to the heart of the demon god. Chapter 457 Great Harvest 2. Apparently, the medium-grade spirit stones only worked for cultivators at martial chi level 2. If one stepped into martial chi level 3, the amount of energy that the medium-grade spirit stones could provide would be very limited. Even Yi Qingtang required at least 1,000 of medium-grade spirit stones to advance her cultivation level. Yi Qingtang walked forward and stopped beside the corpse of the Yunxiao sect disciple. She found another 5 medium-grade spirit stones from the Yunxiao sect disciple and a silver-color token. Yunxiao token. Yi Qingtang sized up the token and muttered. The Yunxiao token belonged to Yunxiao sect disciples only, and it represented their identity. Yi Qingtang was slightly attracted to the token. The token might be useful in the future. Yi Qingtang then kept the token into her space ring. The harvest she had this time was way beyond her imagination. Previously, the best result she thought was to acquire the Spirit Life Flower. However, besides the Spirit Life Flower, she collected 17 medium-grade spirit stones from Yi Tianqiu and the Yunxiao sect disciple. They were equal to 17,000 lower-grade spirit stones. She did not spend much energy, so the things were like given to her for free. After packing up everything, Yi Qingtang did not move far. She chose a remote cave nearby and sat down. She then took out all the medium-grade spirit stones. 17 spirit stones were covered by the primordial qi and floating in the air. Large amounts of spirit energy suddenly diffused out of the medium-grade spirit stones and lighted up the entire cave. Yi Qingtang spent one whole night to absorb the spirit energy from the spirit stones. Next day morning, when the sun just arose, the darkness in the cave was replaced by light. Rays of lights shone into the cave, and Yi Qingtang opened her eyes slowly. The 17 medium-grade spirit stones that were floating in the air previously had lost their initial luster. The scraps were useless now, as all the spirit energy was absorbed by Yi Qingtang. Third heaven of martial qi level 2. Yi Qingtang could feel her primordial qi flowing through her body. Joy filled her eyes. The effects of the medium-grade spirit stones were better than she expected. They strengthened her martial ability at mid-stage of the third heaven of martial qi level 2. She was very close to the late stage. If I had more medium-grade spirit stones, I may be able to reach the third heaven of the martial qi level 3 soon, Yi Qingtang murmured to herself. However, the medium-grade spirit stones were too precious. 17 of them could be considered as a large number, as they were equal to half a year's pay for the Xianling sect elders. More spirit energy would be needed to break through when she reached the third heaven of the martial qi level 2, and a dozen of medium-grade spirit stones were far from enough. Yi Qingtang did not bother about the spirit stones anymore. She decided to leave the scraps at the side, but when she just gathered the scraps together, the lightning dragon that was sleeping in her arms suddenly poked its head out. It shook its head and seemed to be looking for something. The lightning dragon had been exhausted since the incidents at the Spirit Condensation Mountain Village. Yi Qingtang found some inferior-grade spirit stones to supplement it with energy, but the results were not great. Thus, it always slept in her arms. How come today it was so active? Yi Qingtang was curious. The lightning dragon had found the breath that excited it. It gazed at the scraps of spirit stones and slipped out of Yi Qingtang's arms. It swung its body and walked towards the scraps. When it reached the pile of scraps, it suddenly opened its mouth and swallowed all 17 of the leftover medium-grade spirit stones. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference. as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.